Hey everybody, welcome to the Better Wounds podcast. I'm Heather Flexer. I'm a certified wound specialist, and we talk all about post-op care and wounds that happen after plastic surgery. So a lot of times I'm talking to you out there. If you've already had surgery and maybe you have developed an open wound, I'm glad you found me. So what I want to dive into today is showering, and if you should be showering, when's the right time to shower. I know it's a complicated issue and some of you are really worried about that. So let's dive in a little bit. Obviously, you want to shower, you want to be clean, but you want to know when you're supposed to do it, if you should do it, if it's going to cause more problems, all that stuff. So number one, I'm going to tell you to do is, of course, follow your surgeon's recommendations. You picked your surgeon, you trust your surgeon, they gave you instructions, so start off by following them. So a lot of times what you'll see is that they are telling you not to shower within the first 28, 48, or 24, 48, 72 hours, something like that. The first couple of days, they're telling you to avoid showering. And the reason for that really is that they've probably also put steri strips or surgical tape or something over your incisions. And so they want those to stay dry. We've talked about that before, how keeping your early incisions dry is really key. And that's because we don't want this surgery, the incision, to fail. We don't want it to get too wet and we don't want it to open up. So you're going to keep them clean and dry. And by clean, they just mean that if there's drainage, you're removing any bandages that are soaked, keeping them dry. So you would just change that topical cover dressing, but you would leave the tape intact. They don't want you getting it wet and showering and all that in the beginning. So follow the surgeon's instructions and keep them clean and dry. When they tell you that it's fine to shower, it's fine to shower. What you don't want to do is take the longest, hottest, bubbliest shower of your whole life. You probably want to take more of a bird bath kind of shower. So you'll have the water hitting you, assuming that you had surgery like abdominal surgery, breast surgery. You're going to have the water hitting you in the back, probably aim it low. So it's not like all over you. It's just kind of helping you so that you can get your pits and privates and get that stuff cleaned up. But you're kind of going to avoid incisions for now. That's probably your first shower. Now, you may do your hair, you may want to do that in the sink, leaning over. You may need help to get your hair clean or whatever. That's totally fine. That's just part of the process. After that first week, you should be fine to take a shower. Tapes are usually going to stay on for 5 to 7 days. They may want to see you in the office in order to remove those. They may tell you you can remove them yourself, but the tapes will kind of wear off on most times. Like they lose their stickiness and they start to kind of peel off at the ends. They're not really holding your incision together. They're just trying to take up some of the tension. So it's fine to remove them. They're going to get kind of soiled from just wound, a little bit of dried blood, sweat. Your body produces oils, like your skin just produces oils. So that tape is just going to wear away at a certain point. And that's fine to remove them. I know a lot of times folks are worried about that. They want to reapply the tape. They're really kind of concerned about the tapes. That's fine if it gives you peace of mind. It's not really something that's going to make a big deal or not. I've seen some new scar products where they kind of pull the incision closed. It's like a topical silicone thing with some additional tension relievers, which look pretty cool. But if your incision looks fine, it's probably fine. Sometimes if you are adding all these extra things into the mix, it may create more of an issue. So you don't want to be layering I've got scar thing, and then I'm putting the foams on, and then I'm putting the faja on, and then I'm putting a bite. All these things may cause an issue. So tread lightly in the beginning. Do just what you need to in order to make it through these first couple of days or weeks. The first 2 weeks is a really important time where, this is when wound issues might crop up for you. This is where infection issues might crop up for you. So you want to be able to visualize what's going on also, so you could address it early. So don't, cover yourself all up and make it that you can't ever look at it. But back to showering. So once you remove the tapes, and you should be able to see at this point, how does that incision look? Is it all closed and great? That's how we want to keep it. So let's assume your incision is all closed. Then you're kind of free to shower. So you can use whatever body wash that you want. You probably want to use something a little bit more. Your skin's been through a lot, so a lot of times people will use the antimicrobial cleansers. That may be fine, but those are also quite drying, and excessive drying is going to lead to cracks in the skin. It's going to make you very itchy. So if you don't need the antimicrobial properties or the antiseptics, you want to start avoiding that. So if you don't have an open issue, we don't want an open issue, you want to use something that is gentle for your skin. So whatever you were using prior, your skin tolerates it, so that's a great place to start. You can go for the more natural products, things with less fragrance. Those are fantastic. So you're going to wash your body, and then you're going to make sure that all the soap is off, and then you're going to make sure your skin is dry. So some people will use these little fans or lights in order to help dry the skin, which is fine. You can absolutely do that. I would avoid using a lot of people will also use a hair dryer. I don't love that unless it's like a brand new one and it's got a cool setting, but I like some of the other fans. I'll put links for all those below. And that is really just to make sure that your incision stays dry. You can also let your skin air dry, and you can do whatever you're going to do, clean your face, put stuff in your hair, make yourself feel pretty, and then go about getting dressed. So you can kind of give yourself a little time to air dry before you get all done up, put your faja on, do the foams, all that bit. So you're going to stop using that hip cleanse or the chlorhexidine because it's too harsh. Okay, so if you don't have an open wound and you're not getting ready to go into surgery, you're going to stop using these harsh cleansers because they may cause a problem. So that is another step to think of. The other one is no soaking. So you're not going to be taking a bubbly bath. You're not going to be getting in the hot tub, all that stuff. You're also not going to let the super hot water type shower because that would increase swelling. So we don't want to do that. You're too sensitive right now anyway. You don't want to add to issues. So just a mild shower, mild cleanser, get in, clean your bits, get out, and let it dry. So one thing, I've seen these like face silicone brushes with the nubby bits. Well, they also make them in like a body brush. So just picture the long handled brush, but with the silicone. That would be really great for helping you reach your back and get your legs and feet so that you're all clean. So that was one thing that I've seen recently that I thought was a great idea. And it'd be good for you guys that are recovering right after surgery to help get the parts you can't reach easily, especially while your mobility is probably a little bit affected right now. So no hot water, no overdoing it. You're definitely not soaking, and you're avoiding those harsh cleansers, but we want you to shower because your body is covered in bacteria and we don't want that bacteria to wind up in any wound. So you gotta get clean. It's a good thing. So don't be afraid to shower. Try some of those tips out. And even if you do have an open wound, as long as it's not this giant gaping incision, then you should also be okay to take a shower. And similar things apply, just then we're going to be adding steps like once you get out, you're going to need to do that wound cleanser and you're going to need to apply the wound dressings that we've picked out. So having an open wound is going to add an extra step once you get out. But as far as getting in the shower, we absolutely want you showering and getting clean because we don't want all that bacteria to somehow cause an issue for you. So that is great. Even when you have the open wound, they drain a little bit. Wounds tend to have a bit of a funky smell, so it'll just make you feel so much better if you can shower. So regardless, showering is good. All right, so if you have any issues, you have any, your wound is open or you have something going on with your wound, I'm going to post below lots of resources for cleaning wounds and getting in touch with me. I do private wound consults, so if you do have an open wound and it's not progressing as fast as you hope, or you want to see if we can do something else, I'll put a link below, but you're going to go check out at betterwounds.com/shop, and it's the first choice that you got for virtual consult, and you can use the code podcast for a discount. So thank you so much for joining me. Please let me know if this was helpful, if there's anything else you'd like to know more about. Post some comments wherever you're seeing this, and let's get you better and back out there as soon as possible. Thank you.